compound interest. First thing we're going to do is talk about what compound interest means. First, let's talk about simple interest. If I have $100 and I put it in the bank, and it's 5% annual percentage rate, how much interest have I earned at the end of the year?
More than 100.
100 times 0.05, right?
Yeah.
Which would be $5. Okay? So let's say I have I don't know where my erasers went to. They all disappeared.
They're in the back.
Did you do that? Okay. Let's say I have 5% interest and it's compounded quarterly.
You multiply by 4.
That means, okay, let's take at the end of the first quarter, 3 months in, then I would take, if I put in $1,000 to begin with, I'd take 1,000 times 0.05 over 4. The quarterly interest rate, you have to divide, since it's 4 times in a year, you have to divide it by 4. Okay? Anybody got your calculator out?
No. No, not really. I hope that's helps.
How much money do I have?
What's one of one? Like one full year?
Oh, this is the date here. Take 1,000 times 0.05 or 12.5, so it's 1,000, 12.5, oh well, because 12.5 is the interest. So I'm going to earn $12.50 in interest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what happens with compounding interest is the next time in June, I take 1,000 and let's say 1,012.50. I get to add that interest into what I had before. Take that times 0.05 over 4. Now what interest am I earning?
Wait, okay.
12.65.
1.65, How do you type that in the calculator?
12.65 or 625, you said?
12.65, 625.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I get to earn interest on my interest. That's where compounding is nice if you have money in the bank. Obviously, when you are first starting out, it doesn't make a huge deal. But the more money the more money you get in here, the bigger difference it's going to make. So what happens is your money grows at an increasing rate all the time. Right now. Right now. Now, think about it for a minute. Let's say I wanted to know how much money I had in this account at the end of 10 years. I would have to do this process 40 times. Because you have to add the interest, figure it again. Add the interest, figure it again. Add the interest, figure it again. You can't, because each time you're doing interest on your interest. So you have to do it that 40 separate times.
So that's like doing work on homework.
Now, what this formula that I have up here takes care of that. It does that work for you. Okay, this is what it's figuring when we use this formula. So, let's look at this formula. It is A is the amount in the account. Okay, the P is for the principal. That's the original amount of money that you entered in the account. Okay? And I got 1 plus R. R is the interest rate. And I'm going to add another little bit here. It's as a decimal.
Anyone and everyone.
N is the number of times it's compounded. Like over on the example I said, it was 0.05 divided by 4. 4 would be your N. Quarterly is 4. Monthly would be what?
12.
12. Number of times compounded, better add this, in a year. And the last one, T, is for time, the time that's in the account, in years. We're going to measure it in years. So if it says for 6 months, T would be 1/2. It'd just be a fraction of a year. So don't do it in months, we do it in years. Okay, any questions about just the formula itself? Okay, it says A equals P times in parentheses 1 plus R over N to the NT. Okay, so let's do an example. So here we have, we're going to put $4,000 in an account. That's my principal. 2.92% is my rate, but I'm not going to write it that way. When I have a percent and I want to write it as a decimal, I divide by 100. So that means I move my decimal 2 places to the left. So the number I'm going to use for R is 0.0292. Okay? I'm going to consider at the end of 1 year. So my time is 1. I have 2 different compounding, 2 different ways to compound it. Quarterly and daily. So let's do quarterly first. Now this is what I want to see on your paper when you do these today. A is what I'm looking for, capital A. So I say A equals, my principal is 4,000 times 1 plus, now the R is 0.0292 over my rate, or my number of times per year is quarterly, so that means N equals 4 to the N, so N is 4, T instead is 1. So that's the formula that you need to put into your calculator. How much money do I have at the end of 1 year?
Shoot.
Don't forget to use parentheses. You put parentheses, an extra set of parentheses in there. And this one you can just put 4, but if you have to multiply that, put parentheses around it too. I want everybody to get the right number because it's a little bit tricky entering it in there. So
4,118. I didn't 0.
yep. Already got the right number. 4,118.09. If you didn't get that, raise your hand. Either I'll help you or your neighbor will help you. Okay, didn't get it? You see what he did?
I got what's good. Race to the power.
Okay, anybody else? Okay. When you're done with that one, if everybody's got that one, I'll give it just a minute. I'll make sure you get it. We're going to look at daily. If it's daily, what is N going to be equal to?
365. I was wondering. Oh, what did I do?
N equals 365. So you write it out. 4,000 times 1 plus 0.0292 over, now this time my N is 365. That's raised
to the power of plus 1
times 1.
raised
to the power of 365. Holy macaroni.
Now, you thinking this one should be bigger or smaller than quarterly?
Smaller.
It's the same. Smaller.
Or the same.
I don't know.
Could be.
You're compounding more often. So that means you should have a little bit more, it's not a lot.
No, I. Oh yeah. Less.
I got
The same.
Four.
Okay, so what did you get, John?
I got 4,118 points. 5-2.
That's what I got.
Okay, so it is a little bit more. Not a huge lot more, but depending on how much money you have in there, it can make a difference. Okay, questions? This is the formula you're going to be dealing with today.
That it?
No.
Ah.
Okay, let's do one more just practice one.
That's life.
I'm going to rewrite this formula. A equals P times 1 plus R over M to the N T. Okay, so we're going to put in $10,000. And so that's my P.
I should take that 10 grand.
Okay, I gotta move my decimal over to get my R. So I get R is 0.051.
Divided by
Okay, what's N gonna be? 1. If it says annually, that happens once a year. So N is 1.
to the power of.
And what's my T?
5.5.
So it's 5.5. Yeah, it's.
Okay. Raise your hand when you think you've got it. John?
This is 13,146.
Now also note, these are dollars and cents, so don't forget to put your dollar sign on your final answer.
We do.
You do need to do that.
We need it. Well, is this acceptable to do everything on the calculator?
You can do it on the calculator, but what I want to see on your paper is that right there.
Yeah.
I want to see you substitute it into the formula, and then you can write your final answer. Okay, you don't have to do any
I
intermediate.
seriously need to use a piece of paper for 2
Okay,
problems.
I'm not done yet. I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, now, there's something else we can do with this formula. How long will it take to triple your money?
Probably about
If I have 7% compounded annually.
7 years.
Well, it doesn't give me any money amount, but it doesn't matter. All I want to know is how long is it going to take to triple my money. So if I put $1 in to begin with, how much do I have when I have it tripled?
$3.
$3.
Jesus.
So if we say A equals 3 when P equals 1, you'd say 3 equals P is 1. 1 plus, now my rate is 7%, so that's 0.07 over, now it's compounded annually, so that's 1.
Or 1.
And so that's N. T is time, that's what I'm looking for. So 1 times time. So, let's simplify this. So I've got 1 plus 0.07 times 1 is 1.07 to the T power is equal to 3. Now, right now at this moment, we do not have everything we need. Before this chapter's over, you will. But right now, we don't have everything we need to solve this. So, we're going to do a little guess and check.
Wait, what? Okay.
We're going to let T equal 5. Then if I have T equal 5, what does 1.07 to the 5th power equal?
7.
1.40.
1.40? Okay. Now, we're not even close. Let's try 10.
20.
Let's do 10. T equals 10. 1.07
I take 1.
to the 10.
No, actually, I take 30.
Okay, what's 1.07 to the 10?
Not enough.
1.96.
1.96. We're getting closer though.
Okay.
Okay, so let's try 15.
Don't we have to get to 6?
We need to get to 3.
1.75.
Okay, that's 2.75. That's getting pretty close. Let's try 16.
Not 2.95.
The 16 is 2.95. Okay, let me move this down so I can add one more. Let's do 17.
It's not that big.
It's-
It's not.
that's
It's
3.1.
too far.
Okay, now just don't get too much in a hurry here.
16.5.
It's 3 point what?
16.5.
It's
I said you did it.
17 is 3 point what?
Oh, I'm okay. 17 is
1, 5. Okay, it's over 3.
it's in the
So
middle.
now, listen. For the purposes of what we're doing today, that's enough accuracy. So what you would say for your answer is between 16 and 17 years.
How many of
Or you
those
could
are
say
there?
about 16 or about 17.
How many of those are there?
How many of those are there?
Those type of questions.
You'll know when you look.
About like 0.
Okay? So when you get to those problems, use a little bit of guess and check. Okay? Any questions? Okay, that's